everybody, and welcome back to Pitsney Hobbies, the dumbest hobby channel on all of YouTube. I'm your host, Ian, and we're back on the beautiful Hachette partworks or Hachette collections U96 U-Boat. Oh baby! So we're doing like pack 6 here, I think. We're gonna start with 21 and go through to 24, where we get a cool little circuit board. And if you want all these cool parts and you want to build yourself an awesome U-Boat, click the link below and go to Hachette's site. And if you want to buy some tools or things I use on my workbench, you know, whatever it is, anything. If you want to get the happiest soldering iron on YouTube, hi guys. Yeah, go to my Amazon link down below. I might get a little cut. It's like cents. It's the only sense in my life. So either way, we're gonna start off with 21. I'll put these off to the side here. Get our little nippers out of the way. Why are you guest starring? I didn't invite you. So pack 21, we have another diamond plate deck panel here, and we're gonna spray this Tamiya X10 gunmetal and then flat clear it afterwards to give it a nice metallic-y look. And then we have a bunch of little, I'll be in my bunk. Yes. I'm just quoting one of our Discord members on Hobby Time Modelers. I'll be in my bunk. We have the bunks, the racks, whatever, some railings, and some multiple wood pieces from said bunks. And we are just going to slop the son of a... Oh, that was fun. I hope everyone enjoyed that. We're going to slop them up with a little sepia shade from Vallejo Game Wash, number 73200, and then blot them off with like paper towel or cotton swabs or whatever. Not sure I'm going to do anything to this. But yeah, we got bits and pieces. Why does the throat clearing start whenever I record? I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I had a reason for that. But yeah, let's get the plastic turtle death shell out of here. And I'm gonna just quickly airbrush this and then just slop these up a little bit. And I'll be right back. Okay, well, the floor plate is drying and I cut out all the bunks. And I'm gonna glue all the bunks in place before I do the sepia shade, just because it's gonna give a nicer finish. It'll be more uniform. Be right back. Okay, everybody, we're back. I glued the little lockers onto the panels and just wiped them down with some of this sepia shade game wash. So they look a little, you know, a little weathered up, a little lived in, so to speak. I really like Todd's idea. And then we've got obviously the beds all stained up, and then you kind of let the sepia shade dry for a bit. Kind of dry off your brush a bit, and then just kind of blot it and drag it, and you know, just mess it up to get this nice body soil finish on there. And we've snipped these 3 little rails off with a little sprue. Here's our floorboard painted in Tamiya gunmetal. Looks pretty nice, and we've flat cleared it. And now what we're gonna do, let's see here. We're going to start gluing these down. So we're going to take this one and this orientation? Or is it this orientation? No, because there's a nub mark right there. So I'm going to put that in this orientation, so there's no nub mark. And we're gonna glue this little fella down. Okay. And the nub mark is not really visible. There's no real visible nub snip marks. We're gonna I mean, honestly, oh, dropped it. They stay in there pretty well, but I'm still gonna put a little bit of our magic melty stuff on those pegs and then stick it down. So 1 second, please. Alrighty. So those are drying. We're going to take this panel, which has the solid bottomed cubby, and we got 3 little pegs there. We got 3 little holes here, and we're going to glue those together with, you guessed it, magic melty stuff, Tamiya extra thin cement. And we're going to just get those slopped up. I should get a custom label. It says magic melty stuff. And stay tuned. I might have a Ghostbusters themed Pit Stain Hobbies pin coming out soon. My buddy Todd, my unpaid graphic designer, who I need to give a raise. I need to give him 1,000% raise from $0 to $0. Yeah. But yeah, there we go. So we're glued those together. And let's... I don't think we really need to clamp them. I mean, he clamped them, but I think they're fine. I think they'll stick together fine. Okay, all right. So now we're going to take this panel with this little slot in it and the 4 holes, and we are going to glue 2 of these rails in here. So let's do that. We don't want too much glue. Just do that for now. And we're going to put 2 of these in here. Then we're going to do another one in the bottom 2 holes. And I'll be right back once this Tamiya extra thin sets up a bit, because it does need a minute to set up. 1 second, please. Alrighty, there we go. We've got those glued in. They're nice and melty. And we're gonna take now this panel, and we're going to put a little extra thin in those 4 holes, and put these 2 together, and lay them down and let them merge, so to speak. So 1 second, please. Alrighty, we've had some time to dry there, and you see these 2 little slots on the sides there. We're gonna, that didn't really glue down properly. We're gonna take the bunk, and we're gonna slide it into these grooves in the middle here. Okay. And carefuling. Oh, son of a Ian. You know what I meant. Hold on. Let me do this carefully. There we go. Hold on. 1 moment, please. We're getting there. Ugh. We're going to glue that in like that. So 1 moment. All right, so we got this glued together. And before it fully sets, we're going to turn our plate around here. And you see that slot there, there, and there? Well, these 3 slots here, here, and here have to go down in there, there, and there. And they're going to slot in there, there, and there. And we're going to have that. And what we're going to do is put a little glue on these tabs underneath and let that cure, set, whatever, and keep them vertical. And yeah, let me get a little glue on there for you. Just designed the new Pit Stain Hobbies logo sticker tonight in a this type of theme. But the first thing I ordered was pins, because that's what the Sticker Mule special was du jour. There we go. So we're going to glue that down. We're going to let that glue set. Just like that. Got a couple of bunks there. Now these are the upperclassmen in the sub, because they have little lockers. So they're special people. You're not. Sorry, you're just not one of them. And we're gonna take this other wall here and the last railing we have and glue that into those two holes, and then glue the other end into those two holes, and the slot on the bottom is going to go down here. So let's just put that in place while this is still setting. One moment, please. We have all three of them in there. So a little more glue, a little more waiting, and we'll be ready to go. 1 second. Okay, so we've got all of these panels in, and I've realized I did not weather the center panel on the back side, and it's going to show. So I am going to paint it with a little bit of this goop very carefully, but we are going to take out pack 22, and we do want to take this main back panel out before we fully finish letting these dry. We want to make sure that those three tabs fit in perfectly, and they do, and that's lovely. That means we've got them nice and plumb vertically. And we'll take that back off, and I'm gonna get a little bit of weathering slathered on here to make it look more like the other parts here. And I'll probably do this one too, because there's gonna be a bit of this showing. So 1 moment, please. Okay, stage 22. We have already pre-weathered all of our things. They're still drying, all of our little panels. We're gonna do something special with that. And all of our other little wood panels, we've pre-weathered them by washing them down with some of this Vallejo sepia shade game wash. Thank you, Todd. This is perfect. And it's water-based. It's not enamel-based. So if there is any paint on here that would be reactive, it shouldn't be to the water-based paint. So we're going to, let these dry. Ugh, they're a little sticky. They're going to dry. And then we're going to continue on in our build of kit 22. We've still got a couple little parts in here, and it's going to be fun. We're going to do a couple little special touches and, very simple things that anybody can do. And this was very simple. Anyone can do if I can do it. And a lot of Facebook messengers coming into me now. Oh boy. I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. And we've got everything kind of weathered up here. I did a little bit of work to some parts. I'll go over that later. But we're going to take our little white reading lamp and just glue it into this slot right. Yeah. So let me just glue that in real quick, and I'll be right back. Alrighty. Well, shoving that little bugger in its hole is not easy. It's a tight fit. Next thing we're going to do is get a little glue on these two posts right here. I'm going to take the little cubbies, put those down on there like that. Then we got this little desk with 3 tabs, and that's going to go in those little 3 holes right there. But I'm going to, that fits so damn tight. That's a nice fit, nice and snug. There we go. So that's the commander's quarters right there. Quarters. That's being generous with the term. Next thing, we are going to install the radio. Oh, there goes the throat clearing. Look at that cute little thing. So we're going to get a tiny bit of glue here. Ba-bam, ba-bam. And we're going to put the little radio in place right there. Very nice. Then we have, he has a door. He has like a whole like room divider thing going on here. So this one goes this way, and then this part will go down to those two little square guys right there. So I'm going to get that glued into place, and I will be back in a sec. Alrighty, so we're going to take this little circuit breaker cabinet and stick it down in the floor in its two little slots, like so. And then I'm going to dab a little glue on from the underside. By the way, if you're not painting the floors, they don't look this blue in real life. They're very pale, pale light blue. Very pale. The camera just blows all the colors out with its artificially boosted colors. Like, these are not this blue. They're blue, but not that blue. I gotta figure out how to fix that one of these days. I wish I knew a photographer friend of mine that knows how to set cameras up properly and owns the same exact cameras I do. I should just listen to him if he hasn't already told me 3 times, which I probably didn't hear him. But yeah, talking to you, Todd. I'm a moron. And then we got to put this little fire extinguisher on. It's so adorable. And that's going to go in a little slot at the bottom. And this is one of those, is that a tight fit? Oh no, it's a loose fit. So we're gonna put a little dab of glue on the back of this to hold that little fire extinguisher in. So it's just, might as well let your fingers do the walking. Who's gotten all yellow pages lately? Nobody. Okay, there we go. That's finished up, and now we got to glue the toilet paper dispenser in. So that should be fun. So here's the inside of the bathroom. I made it a little extra nasty. I might have gone slightly overboard, but the toilet paper dispenser is very, very small. And you could orient it any which way you want, but I'm going to have it, oh my God, it's so tiny. It's so friggin' small. Can you put it sideways? No. Vertical. I've got these not huge hands for a dude, but for some reason still. So there's a little toilet paper dispenser, a little roll of teepee. Oh, that's so cool. I love it. And now, as far as the bathroom door is concerned, or the head, whatever, the lavatory, the head, I went ahead and I painted a little black with a paint pen over there. And if you see that glistening, I drilled out that hole and filled it with clear Solares UV resin. And then we just gotta get these two fellas kind of snapped into place there, just like that. And I'm gonna get a little dab of glue on those hinges. Make sure it stays in place. There we go. So we're almost done with this stage. And now, yeah, this is the last part, is we're gonna go over here and we're gonna take this rear bulkhead here, and it's gonna fit right on all the tabs like that, and we're done. And my fire extinguisher fell off because I didn't let the glue dry long enough, other than a tiny bit of glue on all these tabs. And a final press inwards to make sure they're all happy. And there we go. Look at that. Stage 22 is finished. Oh, the inside, so nasty. I didn't dirty up the outside quite as much. You know, make it look somewhat inviting, but you know that thing probably is like a porta-john at the end of a NASCAR race. Ugh, gross. So that's all done. So where's kit 23? Oh, son of I knocked over my little Goonies key. There we go. There we are. That's better. And here's 23. Oh, these clamshells, always so much anxiety that something's going to go flying. Oh, okay. Whew, okay. There we are. So we got a whole bunch more parts. So let's just look at all that. There we go. Just a nice big jumble. Oh, these fun gray parts. They got all these little buttons and dials already painted on some of them. That's nice. Oh, yeah, those look so good. That's cool. All right, let me get started on that in a sec here. We got a whole couple. Looks like we're building a couple of radio rooms. Yes, yeah, the radio and listening rooms. Okay, so we're not even gonna basically see any of this part after we get these installed. For the most part, we won't. But let's see here. Let's see what we have. Oh, this one's pre-painted with a bunch of stuff. This one's not. Got a couple of desks. All right, fun. Well, I'm going to pre-weather all of the brown parts. Not sure I'm going to do the stools, but yeah, we're going to get these things done. Look at these. Oh, these have little glass doors. That's cool. Nice. That's so they have some peace and quiet while they're in there. That's very cool. Okay. Give me a sec. Let me get these smooshed up and dirtied up with the sepia wash. One sec. All right. So we basically dirtied everything up, including these desktops and benches and everything. And now we're going to start with the chairs. And I already took the little top of the chair, snipped them off the sprue, and I painted them with some of my AK paint marker. This is really good. I have the whole set of those AK acrylic paint markers. They are amazing. If you want to get a set, I'll put a link below. I keep forgetting to. It's mishtoy.com, Michigan Toy Soldier, and use code PITSTAIN2024 for 15% off. But yeah, we're going to glue these down. Right, yeah. Actually, I think I'm going to just use a little CA glue, but those two are going to go down in the 3 tiny holes, one there and one there. So give me a sec and I'll be right back. All right, so our little stools are crazy glued down. Now I got to put the desktops on. So this has a smaller slot. This one has a bigger slot. The one with the smaller slot goes on this desktop. Let me just push it down there. It does not stick on its own. The pins are they're not super tight. So I'm gonna get just a little crazy glue on these and stick them down again, and I'll be right back. Alrighty. So the tops are glued down. I did have to actually clamp. Use one of these little DeWalt mini clamps. I had to clamp this down a little bit because it was just a little bowed. And what we're gonna do now is start installing these desks. And this one's gonna go right here in the slots. And then this one's probably gonna go here. I don't know. We'll see. That's not going down yet. So let me get this glued down real quick and I'll be right back. One sec. Okay, so we did glue that other table down, and now we gotta take this door panel and we gotta snap the doors in to their little hinges. Gingerly. Carefuling. Oh. Squeezy, squeezy. There we go. Snappity snap. But don't break the parts. Ow! That's smarts. You know, I'm gonna break out a pair of these duckbill pliers. So much easier using the right tool. Duckbill pliers. Amazon link to my store below. They're in there somewhere. They're very handy. So you'll see we have these up high, so that's the top of the door, and I did dirty up the glass a little bit too. So when you know, it looks like, because here's the thing, everybody was smoking on these ships nonstop, like chimneys. So yeah, So it's just what you want to do, is have everything just kind of nasty. So now we're going to start getting out our little electronic panels. So we're going to get this one out. Okay, and we got, they're all labeled in the instructions with letters, I think. And then we got this big guy's the second one. And then, okay, so we're gonna take a couple off of here and here and get those glued on. So let's see here, we're gonna take this one. And we're going to take this big mamma jamma. I really love all the little tampo printed decorations on these. They look really good. My fingers are all covered in schmoo from the sepia wash. I'm going to take this center wall and glue this down onto these two pegs right here. And, pardon me, this little guy is going to go down on the two little pegs right below it. So I'm going to get those glued on. 1 second. Alrighty, so those two are glued down. Next thing is to get a little crazy glue here. We're going to put that one on there. Then put this one right there. Make sure you have it facing up. And how nice is that looking? Pretty awesome. And then we're going to flip this sucker over. We got another little box that has to go on here, which is going to be the second one on this sprue of unpainted boxes. Right there. Okay, and we're going to glue that down to these two little pins right here. You just get a little touch of cray-cray, little crazy ex-girlfriend glue on there, and then we'll get that on those two little pins and squeeze that on down. And then let's see, what do we need? We need L. We need this one. Let's get that on there. These are beautiful little things. They're really so nice. And a little more. Crazy ex-girlfriend on there. And we're going to throw that into the slots right there. Get that pressed home. We got the two little slots on top of that facing up. And then we got another box. It's going to be this one with a whole bunch of stuff painted on the front of it. I don't know. It's nice that they pre-decorate these little boxes. I mean, they're not going to be the easiest things in the world to see, but it's just, the detail really is appreciated. And just get a little glue on that. Get that squeezed on there. Don't glue your fingers to the model if you can help it. Attempt to not glue yourself to the model. And then, okay. Got to assemble a couple things. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're going to take this little guy with the tab on the bottom of it, and its back is open. We've got this little panel to shove in the rear of it. And just so as I don't glue myself to it, I'm using the Magic Melty stuff that's me extra thin to, that'll wick into that little seam right there and melt itself together and be very, very well adhered. So let me let that dry for a few minutes, and I'll be right back. All right, So the little back plate is glued on fairly well now. And we're going to want to glue this down to this first slot right here, like that. So let's get a tiny bit CA glue, which some people don't like the smell of the accelerator for CA glue, the kicker. Yeah, it can't smell worse than a submarine in World War II. I mean, it was kind of, you had like the smell of the diesel fuel and the BO and old leftover food cans and the bathroom, and I don't even think they would smell my farts on a U-boat. I think it's the only way in the world someone wouldn't smell my odoriferous emanations happen. It was nasty down there. It was nasty. Ugh. Oh man. So now let's see. Let's start assembling this other bulkhead. All right. Listen, look at Ian talking about his farts again like a jackwagon. I know. I'm a monster. I feel like this should have some more detail. Todd painted his up a little bit. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do it on the spruce. I have a nice firm grip on it. So let me do that. I'm going to use my little AK markers and I'll be right back. Alrighty. Well, we're going to take our back wall. We're going to take this little guy that we painted up a little and get that down on its pegs. We're going to take this little radio bit. Come on, focus. There we go. That's going to go down onto these two little pegs, like so. Very nice. Then we've got this part and this part that have to go together. But that's not yet, Ian. Not yet. Okay. I was jumping the proverbial shark there. We've got to put the two tabs on this edge of this into here, and it's a fairly tight toit. Let's open the door so we can squeeze on the edge here. She does not want to go in. No. So what we're going to have to do, honestly, in this scenario, a little bit of magic melty stuff in those holes should, in fact, help us get these two little tabs in there. It melts the plastic and it lubricates it. And there we go. They snap right in. They're a wee bit of a tight fit, but there we go. They're in there. So otherwise you'd have to like open those holes up a little bit, but I don't think, that wasn't necessary. And then we're going to snap this, not snap it down, but we're going to place this down onto the floor in its slots and glue that into place. Well, make sure it fits, I guess. We're going to pull it back up, do the hokey pokey. And then we're going to put this one in here. Let's see how that fits. That fits much better. So yeah, that fits nicely. Look at that. That's so cool. And I'm going to throw just a little bit of Tamiya Extra Thin into the edges here, where you're not really going to see it. We don't really need any more there. And we're going to put those down. So let me get some Crazy Ex-Girlfriend glue on here. No, not the phone. One moment. All right. Phone call from the wife. But there we go. Look at that. They're almost done, but not quite. We're going to glue this together. And let me just double check the orientation of where we need that. So a little square screen will be at the top there. And I think I'm just going to put the tiniest dab of CA glue inside of this, because it does seem to be a pretty snug fit. Squeeze that together. Try not to stick yourself to it. And then that one, this one has the wide slot, or the wide tab at the bottom. And that's going to go into the wide tabbed desk opening right there. Right. Okay, just about nearly glued myself to the oh, son of a. This is, crazy glue. That's why we call it crazy. It does what it wants. It doesn't listen. So we got that little guy there. It's kind of cool. And then this little fellow's going to glue into this little slot here. So let's put another little dab of ex-girlfriend on there. There we go. I'm still thinking about whether or not my farts would smell on a U-boat. Like, it already smells so bad everywhere else. And I think we're just going to gingerly place that down on a flat surface and hold our breath. Don't breathe. Don't breathe. We're going to put a Q-tip under here. There we go. Don't even talk too loud. Just be quiet. I'll be right back. All right. So our glue has set and our little rooms look very, very nice. Yeah, kind of hard to focus on some of this, but you're not cramped at all. No, plenty spacious on the U-boats. Last thing we got to do is build a couple benches. Well, that's for the stage. Then we have 24 after this. We're just going to snip out these two little T-shaped aluminum colored pieces and glue them both into the bottom of those benches. So let me do that and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so our little bench slash table, whatever it is, I think it's probably a table. Get a little bit of crazy ex-girlfriend on there. Put that one in there. I'm going to put the other one in the other slot. And I'll be right back once they dry. Okay, those are all glued up and looking nice. Just a little bit of grime on them. A little bit of grime on just about everything. I didn't put any on the radio boxes. I figured they keep the electronics clean at least. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Can't wait to get the toilet for there. That should be fun. And you could look in the little porthole and you could see someone pooping. I want that to be fun. And yeah, looks nice. Let's get on to 24. This is the circuit board and some lights. So we're going to have to get the previously completed section of the U-boat out and about. So I will get to that in a sec. Be right back. Okay, so we're back. We've got our U-boat partially here. We are going to hook up our battery pack to our test board, and it goes right, yep, there. And we're going to plug in our lights. There's a red one. So what I did is I sanded all of these lights, like mostly the dome, just sanded it. My little Amazon sanding sponge. I think I'll add it to my Amazon store. The other three are white, but they're bright white. That did not exist in World War II. So I dipped them in Tamiya clear yellow paint. And I will pull that out. Oh, dear God. Almost knocked over my beverage. Tamiya X24 clear yellow. I dipped them in that, let them dry overnight, because that paint takes absolutely forever to dry. And I tested all of these also, and they're good to go. So now what we got to do is take our, I'm going to unplug this for now. Take our circuit board, put it down into here. It's pretty self-explanatory. It just goes that way. There we go. Squeezy, squeezy. And 4 AP screws are going to go in there. 1 second. Okay, so we've got that screwed down. You can see we got 2 pins in this connector, 4 pins in this connector, and we're going to go right down there and place on those 2 pegs. And then an AP screw here, AP screw there, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's screwed down. Now we're going to do, take our one red LED, which has red shrink wrap on it. Sorry about that. No, there goes the throat clearing. And we're going to mark this with one of these decals that comes with it. And that's going to be L2. And then L2. There we go. L2. And there's 3 L1 stickers on here. Those are going to go on each of these. So give me 1 sec. Okay, so I screwed up and I put the label up here. It's supposed to be near the plug. So we know S2 is the red light because it doesn't have that. All the white, now yellow lights are there. And we also labeled this double 4-pin connector with S1. So L1, these 3, L2, the red one, and S1, this 4-pin cable that's already here. And we got to start shoving LEDs in holes. So we're going to shove the red LED into this hole here. Let's see if we can get that in. Because Todd, my buddy, had to clearance the hole a bit. And I will too. So I'll show you how I do that in a sec. 1 moment, please. Okay. So we got our red light in there. And we did have to clearance a little bit. So what we did was we just dragged our hobby blade. And there's a couple nubs in there that are a little fiddly. Oh! Don't try to catch your hobby knife if you drop it. No, don't do that. Okay. One on the floor. Okay, so these have some paint on them as well, but I'm just concerned with the tip. And nope, doesn't want to go in. So we're going to clearance just a little bit more. There we go. And get that pressed all the way down as far as we can. And I'm going to do the same with these 2, and I'll be right back. All right. Our lights are in. I put some black electrical tape. I shoved them into these slots. And now we must plug in. So all the L1s go 1, 2, 3. Let's see here. L1, L1. L1. Make sure you get your plugs in the right orientation. Just look at the skinny side. Make sure the skinny side goes in the correct angle of the dangle. And we're going to get some more things plugged in to this. Follow Todd's website, and I'll be right back. Okay, so got everything plugged in, following the instructions. And what we're going to do is bunch all these cables up, get them as flat as we can, because obviously a side panel's got to go on here. As flat as we can. take this clip that comes in there and get all of those cables in there. Come on. There we go. There you go. Okay. And then we're going to peel the backing off of the double-sided tape and stick it right there. Now for these cables, we want to keep them bunched up and kind of flat. So let's go ahead and take a zip tie. These are, I think they're linked in my Amazon store, but if they're not, I'll add them shortly. And we want to add them in there. We're going to put a little flat zip tie right there to hold that bundle. There we go. Okay. So that way we have them nice and flat. Obviously, this one is still open. Everything else is plugged in. We have M1, S2, I guess, M2, M3, L1, 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 L2. There we go. And we're going to do that. And yeah, that's it. Okay, so that's it for this pack. Stage 24 is done. I did drip a little crazy glue in these to hold them down into these little slots because a couple of them wanted to be flyers. So yeah, there we go. A little black electrical tape over those bulbs. And there we have it. So, either way, thank you for watching. Thanks for coming to Pit St. Hobbies. And if you're watching this when it goes live on October 31st, 2024, it's your last day to pre-order the Hachette Ford Falcon XB GT, the post-apocalyptic. It's from a Mel Gibson 80s movie that I can't name because I can't. But you know what I'm talking about. He was very young. They had a low budget. It was a great movie. Either way, thank you for coming to Pit St. Hobbies. Thank you for watching. Adios, everybody.